welcome back to Large Scale RC Car Nation. This is Brandon, and today we're going to be installing these Mod Ultimate Rear Diff Inserts. The part number is 18550, and let's check out what we get. Taking a quick look at these, I definitely like the way they feel. They're lightweight, made very well, made right here in the USA. They're constructed out of a 7075 T6 anodized aluminum. They have Avid RC bearings. So before we install these, let's kind of go over some of the advantages. It has a much larger bearing, which is going to help with the extreme load. It's going to last much longer than your standard flange bearing, which is going to equal less maintenance and overall cost. These diff inserts have been ran for over 3 years with nothing but success and less maintenance costs over time. Let's go ahead and start doing our install, and we're going to be replacing these old ones right here on our rear differential. We're going to need to start with a 2.5 millimeter hex driver to remove these 4 Allen bolts right here on our differential. Now that we have taken out our 4 screws, we will remove the ring gear. We will remove the inside diff gear. Remove the pin simply by sliding it out. Use your MIP tool to push out the pin. You will just go ahead and pull out your outdrive. Next is your shim, and you want to inspect your O-ring. Here I can see I have a little bit of a chip, so I'm going to be using part number is LOS 252097. This is going to be for your outdrive O-rings and diff gaskets. Now you can remove your insert and just go ahead and clean up any fluid that's on the ring gear. After removing this insert, I want to go over a few advantages that I've noticed. One is that this is not only half the weight as the OEM one, it also has a much larger bearing, which is going to help with the extreme load, which is also going to make it last a lot longer than your standard flange bearings are, which is going to equal less maintenance and costs overall in your time running your car. Looking at the inside of the inserts, you can see that there's a lot more clearance here than there is here. This will allow you to run boots over your outdrives, which will refrain from more wear on your outdrive and your dog bone. Mod has improved the geometry on these, which is going to make it less likely to strip the gears, as the OEM right side diff insert is undersized, and it's going to allow it to move forward and backward and cause improper pinion and ring gear diff engagement, which is going to cause failure. So let's go back to the install. To get started with the install of our new inserts, we're going to take our insert, place it on the ring gear. We will then take our outdrive and place that inside. Next, we will take our new O-ring and run that over the top of the outdrive. Next, we will place our shim on. Next is the pin, which you will push down. Push the pin in, make sure that it's equally split across. And then we will take our diff gear and line this up with our pin. Once it sits down nice and flush, it's locked in, and we will move on to the other side. We will now remove the gears. and drain the fluid. Now that we flipped it over and let all the fluid drain out of the differential case, when you flip it over, this gear may possibly fall out, so just make sure that you grab that. So we will take out this gear. Once the gear is out, just like the other side, you will remove the pin inside. And slide out the outdrive. And your bearing will come off. So now that we have inspected and cleaned everything, let's go ahead and install the other side of our insert. We will flip our differential case over, place the insert on, place the outdrive in. Next, we will take our O-ring and place that over the outdrive on the inside and place that down, followed by the shim. Now we will insert the pin. Once the pin is centered, we will now replace the gear. And it will sit down nice and flat. Next, it's only one way for it to go in. Once that's sitting down in there, you want to make sure that the flat part is facing upward, and this one will be facing downward. Now that we have the gears installed, we will go ahead and fill it with the diff fluid. The diff fluid that we'll be using is the TLR 5280 silicone diff fluid 5000 weight. Now that the gears are installed, we will use our Pit Pal and fill it with the 5000 weight fluid. Once filled to the proper height, you will let it sit in your Pit Pal and let it release all the air bubbles. The proper level of filling the fluid is going to be 3/32 of an inch or 2.3 millimeters from the top. You should be checking your differentials and maintaining them every 12 tanks of gas. We'll be right back as soon as our bubbles are released. Now that we are at proper level of oil, we'll go ahead and replace the top of our differential. We will now reinstall our hardware. So once you have tightened up all the screws, just go back through and double check and make sure that they're all nice and tight. Wipe off any excess oil that may have dripped on the outside or on the inside where the screw holes are. And now these diff inserts are installed. You're going to apply black grease to the ring gear, and then you're going to have the lip portions of each side facing downward when installing into the forward section of your case. Slide it right into the groove of the housing. Once you aligned it up, it will slide right into the case on both sides. You want to work your black grease into the gears and go ahead and slide on the rear case and install your screws. You'll install the screws with a 3mm And now your mod diff inserts are ready to go, and your rear differential is ready to go back into your car. Thank you guys for watching the video on these mod ultimate diff inserts. They are amazing. It feels like butter. I can definitely tell a difference in these bearings just by turning them. The other ones were gritty, hung up a little bit, super smooth. Definitely gonna get some boots to protect my outdrives and my dog bones. And we'll install this back in the car, and thanks so much for watching.